Yesterday,
Don't tell Josh.
Well, you're on the show.
Fuck, I was in here. Yeah, go ahead.
Because yesterday on the show, I meant to bring it up, but it got away from me. Was this amazing speech by Jon Stewart?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they won. And it worked.
So, I want to get all.
They won.
Well, because that's also the power of the internet too. You know, it's. Jon Stewart is a respected voice in general because he knew how to blend comedy with political take, and he's very respected in the industry. And you saw why when he had this speech about the first responders to 9/11 and the way that they've been treated over the years and essentially ignored by Congress, and what a fantastic speech, honest speech. There was no, like, sometimes you can see whether a politician, actor,
like an agenda,
or there's a performance in it. This is just a raw emotion, passion, good human being speaking from his heart. And he did it. And it was funny because even though he was shaming Congress in the way that he was saying it, he was still respectful. Like he did this whole speech where you're just kind of on the edge of your chair listening to this man speak about protecting these people. And he just says, you know, they did their job, do yours, right? And then he goes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a professional. That's somebody who wanted to be heard, who did have an agenda.
Totally.
But it was a good agenda.
But it was a good agenda. Yeah. But it wasn't like. Because a lot of people, and listen, I'm not like somebody that doesn't believe in climate change or something like that, but there's a lot of people that go about trying to get people on board with climate change in the wrong way, right? Like that
can be said for a lot of different topics.
Totally, 100%. But you're right, the way Jon Stewart did it, because dude, there isn't, and Trevor Noah's fine on the Daily Show. I think he's good, but he's no Jon Stewart. Right. Jon Stewart is probably the greatest political talk show host we've ever had in this country.
I think so, especially as you see Mark kind of descend into his own biases and prejudices.
Totally.
Jon Stewart remains still untouchable in that way. In his presentation here, when you remember what he did on The Daily Show, bringing those people in, the first responders, and then coming back to it, and 3 of them couldn't show up of the 4 that had shown up the first time. Right. 2 were extremely sick. 1 had already died, and the 2 were fighting off cancer. So this is why it's a very it's an issue near and dear to his heart, and you could tell through those 8 minutes how much he's gone to know these people, and so what he was speaking about, and the fact that Congress was like what, a quarter full, half, there was hardly anybody
and
there.
That's what he was saying,
and they asked I think
they
McConnell
don't do their jobs,
right, and I think they asked McConnell about it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sure we'll get around to it and voting. I don't see why we wouldn't. It's like, because everyone's caught in this battle over the impeachment and Trump, that this real issue here,
stuff that works,
people should have shown up for it.
Because
these people showed up for us.
Yeah, and because Congress keeps, literally, like, everybody, most people in the government, all they're working is for re-election. Instead of actually helping people. Like that's what's so crazy.
That's what I loved about him, though.
Terms, because Senate's 6, right? Senate's 6 years.
Yeah.
The Congress needs to be 4 years. It does.
But he made all those points, though. My favorite point that he made was, too, everyone said this, whether it's a New York thing, is this was an attack on the Tribeca. This was an attack on America. You know, and he did this. It was just so, but it was well thought out. It was well said, but there was so much passion behind it that it didn't seem rehearsed. It didn't seem like there was a purpose. And so what happened as far as, like, so you say they won? What did they
ended up getting
win?
the 5-year extension to cover the benefits and all that. But the fact that it's only 5 years is the level of ridiculousness overall, because it should be unlimited for what you did. I mean, if Armageddon, you could not pay taxes for the rest of your life for blowing up an asteroid, you sure as hell get taken care of to the end of your life if you contracted your cancer or your sickness from being there as a first responder. Right. So many people have died that way. So to me, it shouldn't be like a 5-year thing. It should be unlimited until you have to keep getting tested. Once you get completely cleared, then at that point you're removed off the program. Right. But you should be unlimited. This 5-year window is bullshit.
If you watch the show Billions, which is one of the best shows on television, Bobby Axelrod made his money after 9/11, and a lot of people who were part of 9/11 think that he did it wrong. But a lot of the money that he has made in his life, he has, in the show at least, he's given to the thing, and he's given to the survivors and the people that are affected. And what needs to happen with this fund, and it's unfortunate because the government really can't do that is they need to privatize it and have the people that invest in it make the money for it, like a police pension or a fireman's pension.
Sure.
Because yes, there are some gray areas, but those people need to be taking that money that they're getting and making money on it, because the government is not smart enough to do that. You need financial advisors to do it.
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, I don't disagree with you, John. I think that it should be more than 5, but it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start in the fact that Jon Stewart used. This is why I think a lot of times, sometimes when celebrities and others tweet out and people say, "Shut up and focus on TV," or "Shut up and focus on this," I think that's where, like, you can see that
tell that
people,
to the president who was on TV.
Yeah. But regardless, you can see you can see the influence of what people who have a good cause can accomplish with their celebrity, and I think Jon Stewart did that. So good on him. It's nice to see a good human being out there doing.
Jon Stewart's not dumb enough to run for president. Like, he's not. He's too smart to know that if he ran for president, he would be an amazing president, but I think he's too smart to know what the toll on his life that would be.
And it's also, you get put into a political system to where you can, it's like you have
there's not a lot of control you have.
No, lobbyists and all this kind of stuff. It's just too much inside of it. It's the machine
That's why
you become because you're not becoming like a president. You're becoming part of a team. You're either part of the left team or you're part of the right team. You're part of a team. You can be the leader of the team, but you're still part of the team. And the thing is that the way that the teams work now, my personal opinion is both sides. It doesn't work.
No,
I mean, it's because it's either our side's right, your side's wrong, or our side's right, your side's wrong. There's no collective
across the aisle anymore.
No, there's no at all. There's no collective of like, we're all in this together. Yeah. It's like, you guys stink. No, you guys stink.
And both sides in government aren't a good representation of us.
No, either side.
No.
It's just like I can't stand a lot of the stuff that the far right does, and I go crazy with a lot of shit. The far, I can't stand both sides, and it's just like, but
the moderation in politics doesn't exist anymore.
No. So anyway, but
and when Joe Biden said that recently, that he wants to go back to, he can't wait for post-Trump America when he can work with the Republicans again.
I hope he goes away.
He got destroyed. He got destroyed by all the other side.
Because it's all of these, no offense to everybody in this room, but it's all these old people that are trying to make decisions that are not at all what younger people want. Like, it's not a good representation of any of our generation.